Kaya, Bet, Resh. The word Eber. Now you find this in number 5, 6, 7, 4 of your Strongs. Okay. Now this is the term from which the name Eber is derived. And in this particular definition here, Abar, or Abar, sorry, it means to cross over, to cover in calculation. Now, the parent root to this particular word are your Bet and your Resh. So let's take a look at that. Bet is your tent or house. Resh, as we've seen, is the head of a man. Okay, now, once again, focusing on each of the aspects of these particular letters, this pictograph. Now, when you think about a tent or a house or a house is something that you can also go inside of, which is one of the reasons why the letter Bet, sometimes you find that it's used at the beginning of a Hebrew word, and it actually takes on the meaning of in. So, for example, if you want to say in Israel, you would say Bet, put the Bet on the beginning of it, and then you would say Israel. So when you see that Bet on the beginning of the word, that you understand that means in Israel. Okay? So it has the definition of being in or inside. When you look at the head of a man, again looking at every aspect, the head of a man is the top. Okay? So now you're talking about being inside and then reaching the top. So the definition, meaning to fill. Now when you look at the word or the parent root Bet Resh, what's interesting about it is that it also is the parent root for another word we're familiar with, which is create. When you look at the first verse of Genesis, it said Berashit bara. So the term bara, Bet Resh Aleph. So it has the same parent root as to create. And when you look at the term to create, what the Creator was doing, He was filling existence with something. All right? So how does this apply to the term Eber, which means to cross over? So now you think about a people who are filling a land. So that means if you're filling a land, and that just happens to be a river, because Eber means one who's from the other side, in a sense of crossing over from the one side to the other, because you're expanded and you've exhausted the land on this side of the river, so now you got to move over to the other side of the river. That's the whole thought behind the term Eber. One from the other side, which derives from 5674, one who crosses over. Okay? So, let's go to Bereshit chapter 12, beginning at verse 1. Which reads, now, and keep in mind what we're doing, we're looking at the specifics at this particular point. Because the Creator has laid out everything that we need to know in His Word. And currently we're just following a certain line of thought. So, now, Yahweh had said unto Abram, Abram's being specified, but we're going to see a connection made later on. Get thee out of thy country, and from thy kindred, and from thy father's house, unto a land that I will show thee. So from this right here, he's told to move. In other words, spread out. Keep that in mind. And I will make of thee a great nation. And I will bless thee, and make thy name great, and thou shalt be a blessing. And I will bless them that bless thee, and curse them that curseth thee. And in thee shall all families of the earth be blessed. Keep that in mind. We're going to revisit that later on in the lesson. And in thee shall all families of the earth be blessed. Now, let's go down to Bereshit chapter 14 and verse 13, which reads, And there came one that had escaped, and told Abram, Ha-Ibri, or in other words, Ibri. Now, the term Ibri, let me put that up there for you, is derived from the term ever. Okay, just get that off. I'm going to erase this as well. And I'm going to erase this as well. So I can get the other term up here. Now the way Ibri you find in scriptures is pronounced Ibri. Now the numbers, you want to look it up, 5680. But of course it's derived from 5677, which is ever. Now what this means, that Abram was of Eber. In other words, that's one of the forefathers or one of his grandfathers, Eber. So he's being identified as being Ibri, or the term Yod, it could even be, well, in this sense, of Eber. That's what that means. Of Eber. Okay? Write that on the floor. In other words, the term Ibri is where we get our word Hebrew in the English. So the term Hebrew, again, of ever. So we see something happening here. Starting out with humanity, Adam. Okay? Moving on down, Shem, he specified. Blessed be Yahweh, mighty one of Shem. It says that Shem is going to be the father of all the sons of Eber. The first time that Ibri is used, in other words, somebody designated as being of Eber, is right here in Bereshit chapter 14, verse 13, in reference to Abram, who becomes the next point or person of interest. Okay, so there's a line of thought that we're following here within the scriptures. Okay, now, a Hebrew is a descendant of Eber, also a family name. Again, it has twofold meaning. Literally what it means, one who crosses from one side to another, pertaining to the river Yarden or the river Jordan. Okay? Prophetically now, when you look at the definition, one who crosses over or from the other side, prophetically, it means one who crosses from this physical to the spiritual. Hence, being a Hebrew is a reference to the people of Yah. Okay? Because although we dwell in this physical world, we represent the other side. Okay? Matter of fact, we read passages that talk about how Abram, or Abraham, as it came to be, he was a pilgrim, meaning he didn't belong to this world. He was just a stranger passing through. Scripture talks about how he searched for a city whose builder and maker was Yah. Okay? Now, thus far, now humanity